Hey guys, it's Vivacious Fiction and all my hair is on the top of my head today. Today I'm going to be bringing you a review, and that review is on Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor. And thanks to our wonderful friend Goodreads, I'll be giving you a summary so you know exactly what you're getting into. Are you ready? Around the world, black handprints are appearing in doorways, scorched there by winged strangers who have crept through a slit in the sky. In a dark, dusty shop, a devil's supply of human teeth grows dangerously low. In the tangled lanes of Prague, a young art student is about to be caught up in a brutal otherworldly war. Meet Karu. She fills her sketchbooks with monsters that may or may not be real. She's prone to disappearing on mysterious errands. She speaks many languages, not all of them human. And her bright blue hair actually grows out of her head that color. Who is she? That is the question that haunts her, and she's about to find out. When a beautiful haunted Aqaba fixes fiery eyes on her in an alley in Marrakesh, the result is blood and starlight, secrets unveiled, and a star-crossed love whose roots drink deep of a violent past. But will Karu live to regret learning the truth about herself? Now the first thing that I want to discuss with you is actually the cover. That's where we're going to start, if you don't mind. I'm going to pull it up in color so that it does it more justice than what my Kindle would. And here you go. This is the cover. Now don't get me wrong, it's okay. I'm not a particular fan of the cover, I guess. I like the font, but the whole black on white with a pop of color, you all remember a couple years ago when they did that big fad like black and white picture, but there's those red high heels or those polka dots or that red lipstick, God forbid, and I didn't like it then, and I don't like it now, and I feel that it really cheated what she potentially could have had for the book. Now, if there had been like one of Karu's drawings, now that I think would really be an eye catcher, and I think that would have, I don't know, said more about the book. Now, I understand the significance of the mask, I get it, but I think it could have been better, honestly. Alright, moving on. I said in my video on June 5th that I had read this book before, and when I read it the first time, I wasn't particularly pleased with the book. Now, the beginning half of it was fine, it was beautiful to me, but the ending, I think I got caught up too much in like the romance and my want for like a happy, not really a happy ending, that's not the right words, but you know what I'm saying, and I got caught up in wanting closure from her troubles, and I didn't get that, and it really made me mad, made me very upset. So I decided that I didn't want to continue reading the series at all. It was one of those series that I automatically banished. That was it, I was done. And I don't know, like the past couple of months I keep thinking about the book, something brought me back to it, and honestly I think it's because, you know, Laini Taylor is so unique in the way that she writes, in the way that she develops her characters. So I felt like I'd give it another try, and honestly, I'm really glad that I did. So I'm going to go ahead and discuss some of the finer points that I liked about the book. Now, it is a review, so there's no spoilers. I'm not going to give anything away for you, but I will discuss with you some of the things that I particularly liked. The first thing that I liked a whole lot was her world building. It was like how she can build these beautiful constructs that you can just imagine in your mind. And I also love the fact that she set it in Prague, because I am sick and tired of reading stuff in the United States of America. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but when I read, I want to be able to imagine myself somewhere, and there's really no imagining if it's where you live, and that's where I live. So it might be fine for everybody who's international, but for me, I'm getting really sick of it. But reading about Prague, I found myself, I was on my phone every little bit looking up, you know, what the sites looked like. I'm looking up history about Prague. I'm looking up all these different types of things, and that is what I want from a book. I want a book to make me want to learn more. I don't want to be simply happy with what I'm reading. I love research, and I love anything that invokes that. So for me, this book, definitely, Laini Taylor did a good job on that aspect. I also love the history that she concocted behind Uretz, if that's how you pronounce it. Maybe. Is there a way? I don't know. But I really liked the mythology, the geography, the history. it feels to me that she put a lot of thought into it, but she gives like the history of Akiva and the history of Karu, like the history of their people, and they correspond. They're not the same, but you can see all these similarities in this world building, and it's fascinating for me. I also love how well developed the characters are. Like, their dynamic when they're speaking doesn't feel forced to me. Such as examples like between like Karu and Zuzana. It's just, I love it. Girl, Zuzana my favorite. Like, we have a lot in common. She's 5 foot. I'm 5 foot. She's spunky. I'm spunky. She has a tendency towards violence. I have a tendency towards violence. But anyway, like, no, seriously though, she is probably my favorite character in the book. And that is one thing that I wish that Taylor had done more, was give more attention on Zuzana. Even though she is a minor character, she obviously plays a big role in Karu's life. If you read the book, you'll understand what I mean. I'm hoping that in the books later in the series, we get to go and experience more of Zuzana's personality and her thoughts and how she thinks, and see her have some, like, actions. Instead of being like that back passive role who's just supportive, I want to see her have some type of action, because she honestly has a personality for it, and it would be a shame if Taylor didn't execute that. Honest opinion. Now, the book does start off slowly. The pace doesn't get all that much better throughout the book to me. It took me about 8 days to read this book. It's about 500 pages, which I guess is, in consideration, not bad, but it was still kind of slow for me. Like, I could only read like bits here and bits there. Not that I didn't love it, because I really love like the scenes in books or like video games where you have that character development, you have that world building, and I love that when I'm in the mood for it. And so happens I was in the mood for it, but I still can't sit down and read that for long periods of times. But to my defense, I did read this book before, so this was not the first time I have read these words, so that could have been another reason that it contributed to me reading it more slowly. However, I did love everything that I read. It was written very beautifully, her diction is fantastic, and like I mentioned, her world building really gets you involved, and that could have been another reason, because I was having to stop and research so often, that could have really prohibited me too. But moving on. From what I can tell, a lot of people have had mixed feelings about the book. They feel that, you know, like I said before in my other video, that there was a lot of predictability with the book, and I understand that predictability now. Honestly, I do. But that's something that I can't discuss in a review with you, because spoilers. But anyway, I understand that predictability now. Another thing that I liked was, even though I could see what direction it was headed, it didn't discourage me from continuing to read the book. And Taylor also has this way of embedding things at the beginning of the book that she brings attention to at the end that can really surprise you. And imagine, I've read this book before. I didn't pick up on it the first time. I didn't pick up on it the second time either, like an idiot. To my defense, it's been 3 years. Yeah. But anyway, so yet again, you know, like people say they want to relive that moment when they first read a book. That was about as close as I think I've ever came, because and it was such an insignificant little detail that it doesn't even really matter, but it was enough to make me be like, whoa, now that was awesome. It actually really took me off guard. Taylor also does a really good job at combating the stereotypes that are associated with the Chimera and the angels. Everything is not simply black and white, it is not simply good and evil. It is more of a mixture of like light grays to dark grays to light. They light and dim and darken and then lighten throughout the entire story. And you find yourself in the end feeling sorry for both groups of people. Though I am 100% Team Chimera, I can definitely see the pitifulness and the sadness that accompanies the angels. So neither side has it 100% good, such as being a child of love and a child of war. If you've read the book, you'll understand what I mean. Overall, I'm really glad that I gave this book a second chance. The first time I read it, I think I got caught up so much in the lovey-dovey romance of it all that I failed to examine the other aspects of the book. And though I found myself liking these other aspects, I was so consumed in the romance that I really took away from the experience of the book. And now going into it, I guess with this like more mature mindset, because I knew what happened. So instead of focusing on the romance and getting caught up in that, I was able to focus on the other aspects of the book and see the true beauty in those, and for me that added more to the book. Overall, I would give this 4 out of 5 birds, and yeah, I'm going to be doing something next week, some review, probably a book 2. Lord knows, I don't know. I threw them off my whole schedule already. I am the worst procrastinator. It doesn't end with college. Well, anyway, it was lovely seeing you guys, and I will see you guys Sunday. Bye! You don't automatically jump into this love scene, even with these... Oh, that was almost a spoiler. Girl, stop yourself.